Anumaan Praman. Anuman is inferential knowledge. In inferential knowledge, inferential knowledge, uh, starting from the time of Plato and Aristotle, Western philosophy has really put itself deeply into this inferential knowledge. The entire system of logic is based on that, mostly on direct perception and inference. Deductive logic, inductive logic, and all those things. It's all about inference. Indian system of thought, other than our this Charvak, materialists, and I wonder if there was really a Charvak, or many say that the system of Charvak was created by others just to put the view of a common man who has no faith in religion or philosophy before us. So Charvak does not accept inferences, logic. Charvak believes only in direct perception. Other than Charvak, every philosophical system in India believes in inference. Now, how to infer a thing? Is to give you a very simple example. It's a rainy season, and you are inside a room, not able to see anything outside, and you come out and see that the ground is wet, and the road is wet, and everything around is wet, and you conclude that there was rain. But if the sky had been clear and sky is clear, there's a possibility that somebody sprinkled water. But one thing is clear. Your direct perception is that there is water, and your inference is that there was rain. Whole of science nowadays, it runs on this Anumaan Praman. Anumaan is not what we understand in Bengali or Hindi or Indian languages. Anuman, normally we think in the terms of imagination, but here it means reaching at the truth through conclusion. Inferential knowledge, that is logical conclusions. Logical conclusions technically is known as Anumaan Praman in every Indian philosophical system. So yoga philosophy stresses a lot on Pratyaksha Praman and Anumaan Praman. And here, at this point, it digresses from the normal materialists, normal scientists, and many other religious systems. And it says that the third source of knowledge and the most important source of knowledge when it comes to spirituality, when it comes to mind, when it comes to vrittis, is Aagam Praman. So it says, Pratyaksha Anuman Agama Pramanani. We mentioned that there are 5 different kinds of vrittis, and first of them is Pramana, right knowledge. Right knowledge comes most importantly. See, right knowledge I am translating because if you want to translate Praman, the easiest and the nearest word would be right knowledge. But these are concepts that one needs to understand by oneself. First test of truth is Pratyaksh. Somebody challenges you. You say that, well, I saw it myself. Then there is inferential knowledge. People who have very good mind. How do we say somebody is intelligent? Because Pratyaksha Praman is common to everyone. And those whose Pratyaksha Praman is very sharp, we say that he has very good observation power. Police persons and then spies and those who are keeping eyes on certain things, they have very good observation power. Even magicians have very good observation power. But we call someone intelligent when his Anumaan Praman is very sharp. Entire movement of science, the entire progress of humanity, when we say that human have progressed, when we say that human is so exalted, why? It is because of the inferential knowledge. Imagine Einstein. Just through inferences, he just went on equation after equation, and from equation to equation, he just went on concluding. And people are still trying to verify whether or not the model offered by Einstein is really correct. Imagine. Intelligence means Anumaan Praman. If your child or if person whom you know can infer quickly, person is intelligent. Here ends the realm of mind. Mind moves around Pratyaksha and Anuman. The knowledge regarding God, knowledge regarding spirituality, knowledge regarding rebirth, all these things can never be known through Pratyaksha Praman and through Anumaan Praman. There is no direct evidence to that, and there is no inferential knowledge to that. This comes from Agam. Agam essentially means the words of sages. Swamiji repeatedly used to say that these sages, they are not inspired, because in inspiration is actually inferential knowledge. For example, Newton saw an apple falling. Well, that's the story. And then his mind was already working on the problem of gravitation. And then he realized that the force that brought the apple down from the tree, that very same force is making all these things move. And he came up with famous theory of gravitation, laws of gravitation. And we say he was inspired. No, he was not inspired. It's inferential knowledge, mind it. A poet, we say the poet Wordsworth was inspired. How can he be inspired? He just had some knowledge. He saw something that ignited his mind, and what came out was inferential. So we don't use inspired in India. We say intuitive knowledge. Intuitive knowledge and inspired knowledge, these are two different things. Sages always have intuitive knowledge. Intuitive knowledge is when you gain the knowledge of something, knowledge of that which lies beyond mind, within your mind. We have discussed earlier, when your mind becomes completely calm, as we saw, Yogaschitta Vritti Nirodha, when your mind stops completely, you gain huge amount of knowledge, and we shall be discussing how, as your mind becomes concentrated and concentrated, you get knowledge of more and more. These sages, the great sages, the great Vedic sages, in our own times we had Sri Ramakrishna, we had Swami Vivekananda, we have heard of Ramana Maharshi, and there have been many other great sages. In that intuitive state, they had knowledge about religion which they passed on for us. And this is what we know as the Vedas, we know as sacred books. When we read Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna in Bengali, Sri Ramakrishna Kathamrit, basically we are studying the words of Sri Ramakrishna, where he is passing on his intuitive wisdom. Indian philosophical system, that is those which have a religious philosophy to it, the 6 systems of philosophy, and of course there are other systems of philosophy in India too, they put a lot of stress on this scriptural knowledge, on Agam Praman. If you have a general look at the knowledge system in India, there are 2 kinds of knowledge, para and apara. Apara is any knowledge which is acquired with the help of mind. Para is that which comes intuitively to us. Now, it cannot come to me, it cannot come to you, because we are totally bound by the mind. We are totally within the realms of vritti. Para vidya comes only when your vritti have stopped. And these are the persons whose vritti have stopped, who can give you real spiritual knowledge. Our tradition is very clear about it. If you want to know religion, go to the person who has studied the Vedas, who has a thorough knowledge of the Vedas, who is well established in the traditions, and who himself has attained intuitive knowledge, who is absorbed in the thought of God. Other than that, we cannot rely on the words of the teachers. No, we cannot. This has been very beautifully coined in simple terms known as Shruti, Yukti, Anubhuti. Test of truth lies in 3. Shruti means the Vedas or the tradition. Tradition must say that yes, it is true. Yukti, it must be very logical, absolutely logical. And Anubhuti, anyone should be able to experience that. Unless the words of a master passes these three states of truth, these three tests of truth, this is not to be accepted as true. This is Agam Praman. So, in case of Agam here, it's the sages. In short, the Vedas and everything that the Vedas say about spiritual matters are to be accepted as valid